The Internet of Things can make everyday life tasks easy and enjoyable. The IoT allows you to have your coffee machine prepare your coffee beforehand, start your thermostat to warm up your house and have hot water when you come back from work. However, regardless the great convenience, better decision-making and more streamlined services that IoT offers, there is always the concern of security. The IoT system should be secure to avoid eavesdropping and ensure data integrity and availability. The data collected by an IoT system should only be viewed by authorized user, be always available and should never be altered. The smart devices should only be controlled and accessed by an authorized user. If the IoT system fails to ensure security, then the user's privacy may be compromised. In this presentation we introduce some guidelines for the consumer's perspective to decrease the risk of having an intruder invade a consumer's privacy in their home and work environment. Some of the biggest threats in the IoT is when both cloud computing and the IoT are used to launch a distributed denial of service attack, DDoS. A botnet is a network of computers infected with the same malware, which allows a hacker to remotely control the computers and turn them into a zombie army, without their owner's knowledge. Botnets can be used to conduct attacks against other systems or to distribute spam and malware. One IoT DDoS attack is the Mirai attack, that scans the internet to find network devices that are running Linux operating system and turn them into remotely bots. The attack targeted consumer devices such as IP cameras and home routers. The vulnerability of the infected devices was that the consumer did not change the default factory username and passwords. To clean up the device from the Mirai attack, the consumer could reboot the device and once open change the username and password. If the password stayed the same, the device would get infected again within minutes. The consumer's devices can become zombies in a botnet network and help an attacker to launch its attack. Consider a scenario in which Mrs. Soulful is unaware that she is hosting the enemy from her smart kitchen appliance. Mrs. Soulful got a Christmas present from her children, a system for making her kitchen smart. Her children also warn her not to download or accept any notifications for application installations from unknown sources. When a notification for update came in Mrs. Soulful's smart system device, she decided to postpone it as she didn't know the nature of the notification, whether it was an official update or some malicious application. She also didn't want to bother her children of what she considered to be unimportant question. As she kept postponing the update, the smart system became irreparably slow. The smart devices in her smart system were either not responding at all or were very slow in accomplishing their tasks. The smart devices did not make her life easier at all, but perhaps even harder. Meanwhile, a hospital that was using cloud services for storing their patients' records could no longer access their system. Their cloud services have been disrupted and the data hosted there are now inaccessible, denying the service it normally provides. Not only they cannot access crucial data for their patients, but also the smart medical devices do not operate properly. When Mrs. Soulfuls heard about the hospital IoT troubleshoot, it was affirmation of what she believed, that the IoT make everyday tasks harder than easier. What Mrs. Soulful didn't realize is that the regular people just like her hosting the zombies which perpetrated the attack, without even knowing. In this attack, an attacker intercepts the patch that was distributed to the users so they could update their devices, performs reverse engineering to discover the vulnerability this patch is trying to fix. The attacker creates an exploit fitted for purpose to take advantage of such vulnerability and releases it into the wild, so all outdated devices are infected and become part of an IoT botnet, as in the case of Mrs. Soulful's smart system. Once the attacker creates a satisfactory size of IoT botnet, it launches a DDoS attack against a critical infrastructure, such as a hospital that relies on cloud services and IoT devices, causing disruption of the services and of the data availability. DDoS attack is one example of an attack that can be launched using smart devices. Smart devices, from wearables to cameras, can be hacked to invade a consumer's privacy. According to a BBC News article published in November 2018, wearables did not encrypt the data they used. As a result, an attacker could track the owners of the wearables, in this case the children. Another example of invasion of privacy is having home cameras installed at your home or enterprise, as they come with the risk of being hijacked. A flaw in the Swan's home security camera app made it possible to hijack audio and video streamed by consumers' cameras. The Department for Digital, Culture, Media and Sport in UK published a set of consumers' guidelines on how to use smart device safely. Setting up your device. The first guideline is to first choose wisely the device you are about to buy. Find reviews for the device itself but also the manufacturer. Visit sites such as Mozilla Privacy Not Included, in which lists devices with what they consider minimum security standards. The smart devices with the asterisk on their images are considered to use the Mozilla's organization minimum security standards. The smart devices such as the indoor camera is not considered to be adapting minimum security standards. Check the default settings. Some devices may be insecure when they are first switched on, so you'll need to take some quick steps to protect yourself. Once you have purchased the device and you are ready to install it, make sure that you change the username and password if there is one. Some devices come with easily guessable passwords such as admin, or zeros. Choose a secure password such as that cannot be easily guessed by adversaries. There are different guidelines on what makes a good password. An attacker will use social engineering to gather information about the consumer in order to guess its password. The password should not be easily guessed, such as birth dates, children's names, etc., or using common passwords such as 123456. The password should also not be reused in different smart devices, as if one device is compromised, then the attacker will have access in all smart devices the consumer owns. Managing your account. Some smart devices can be controlled remotely by creating an online account linked to device. The account can be used to back up your device's settings and data to recover if needed. However, maintaining the online account and accessing your device entails risks, as others may access them without your permission. The first thing to do to secure your smart device online account is to use a secure password. Again, try not to reuse an old one and make it hard to guess. If the device or app offers two-factor authentication, 2FA, turn it on. The 2FA provides a way to confirm twice that you are the person who you are claiming to be. The 2FA aims to prevent attackers that have already stolen the consumer's password to log into the smart device account. Assume that the attacker has stolen or guessed your online banking system login credentials. If the specific bank account uses 2FA, then the adversary must pass another security check to be able to access your account. You typically see 2FA when using online services such as banking, email, or social media. An online banking system apply 2FA using username and password login as the first security check. If the password and username match, then a second security check is launched before accessing your account. The second security check could be a random number generated that is sent to the owner's account personal cell phone that the user can use as input to the online banking system. If both security checks pass, then the user can access the account. You should use 2FA for your email, as an attacker with access to your inbox can use it to reset passwords on your other accounts. Keep your device updated. Mrs. Soulful kept postponing updating her smart system and it became infected. An adversary reverse engineered the new system update and found fixes that came with the new system update. Taking advantage, the fact that some consumers did not update their system, the adversary exploits the vulnerabilities and launches its attack. It is therefore important to keep updating your smart devices to the most updated version. If there is the option to enable automatic updates, switch it on, to make sure you have the latest updated version installed once it is made available. In certain cases, the Smart Devices app may prompt a message for the user's approval to install the new update. Accept the update, after first verifying that the issuer of the update is legit and that it was initiated by the device's software and/or manufacturing company. Always make sure that the Smart Devices operating system is updated. For instance, in a smartphone, make sure that your Android version is up to date and all your apps. If something goes wrong. In case you think that something goes wrong with your device, may be affected, then the first step is to visit the manufacturer's website to see if there are any guidelines on what steps to take. Companies like Samsung, Apple, Google, Android, and Microsoft have security guides on how to secure your smart device. Other options are to visit your country's cybersecurity center for guidance on how to deal with the possible intrusion on your smart device. If for any reason you suspect that a malicious party can control or access your device, perform a factory reset. This will revert the device to its factory settings. Getting rid of your device. In case you want to get rid of your smart device, either by selling it or giving it to another consumer, then you should perform a factory reset. Resetting the settings to the factory setting erases the personal data from the device. Refer to the device manual and/or the manufacturer's website to find out how to perform a reset. We presented 6 basic guidelines that a consumer should be aware of before purchasing, after purchasing, and getting rid of a smart device. A consumer should learn about the security standards the device has before purchasing it. Once the device is installed, change the default passwords to a more secure password. In case the smart device provides the consumer the option to link an online account, then the consumer should enable the two-way authentication technique 2FA. 2FA should also be used at the consumer's email account, to prevent the adversary gaining access to the email account and resetting passwords. Updating the software on the smart device, both the app and the operating system, is a crucial step to lower the risk of compromising the smart node. Regardless of all the preventing measures taken by the consumer, there is never a 100% secure device. In case the consumer suspects that the device is compromised, he or she should contact the cybersecurity agency of his or her country to get support. If there is suspicious that the smart device is controlled or accessed by an intruder, reset the device to factory settings to erase personal data. Factory settings should also be used when getting rid of the device. This concludes our presentation of IoT Consumer Security Guidelines.